South Korea is known as the home of eSports, or competitive gaming. But how did it all begin? Our Shin Ye-eun explains.
South Korea is one of the forerunners in esports. It was one of the first in the world to come up with concepts like game leagues and professional gamers. And it all started around the late 1990s at PC rooms, like the one where I'm at right now. People would gather with their friends to play online games and watch each other. PC room management noticed this trend and started holding tournaments against each other to choose the best gamer in each district. Back then, the most popular game was Starcraft. Decades later, esports has grown exponentially here in Korea. And let's find out how. The history of esports can be traced back to Starcraft. Released in 1998, this online game instantly made it big. Because Korea had just the right infrastructure, PC rooms. Unlike computers at home, these internet cafes had high-speed internet and top-notch hardware.
Starcraft became a national game. Students would rush to PC rooms after school. Adults would come right after work. Everyone was playing it. Because Starcraft and online games became so popular, South Korean broadcasters decided to televise some offline matches. Nobody had thought about it before. The combination of gaming and broadcasting hit the jackpot. It turned out users enjoyed watching others play because they could relate to them and learn some hacks themselves.
From playing games to watching games, South Korea had started a new trend, and as society became more digital, esports inevitably became bigger. A range of new broadcast platforms emerged, making game streaming easier and more accessible. New games have been released and added to the esports category. The biggest esports game in Korea right now is League of Legends. The game has over 150 million users around the world, and 16% of them are based in Korea. League of Legends holds two major global esports tournaments, Mid-Season Invitational and World Championship, and in each of them, South Korea has produced a winning team. One of them is T1, with a world-class player named Faker. Faker is the only player in the world to have won the League of Legends World Championship 3 times. Thanks to him, the esports market in Korea has grown even bigger. This year's MSI is being held here in Busan. Excitement fills the air as fans from around the world came to see one of the biggest international esports tournaments. Even those who couldn't find tickets could still enjoy the MSI experience by taking pictures in front of billboards of their favorite Korean professional gamers. I myself would like to take a picture with T1's Faker.
I couldn't get tickets to all the matches, so I came to watch just one, but it was disappointing that I couldn't go to all of them. It would have been fun.
I actually went to MSI to see Team T1 play in person. But I also came here to take pictures as if I'm standing up close to my favorite pro gamers.
After realizing just how popular pro gamers are, companies started approaching esports teams about potential sponsorship deals. Brand partnerships have become the foundation on which the esports market has been built. Industry insiders believe that sponsorships accounted for more than 60% of global esports revenues in 2021.
They have the right messaging. Because we have a captive audience who's second screen focused, so we have high-end digital users, and so I think advertisers and partners really saw esports as an opportunity to kind of expand their reach to the younger consumers.
The domestic esports industry has seen double-digit growth almost every year. The average annual growth rate from 2015 to 2019 was 17.9%. 감사합니다. You can tell just how big esports is here in Korea because there's an orchestra performance with the country's most renowned classical musicians playing the iconic music from the game League of Legends. This sort of performance was first held last year. The game's developer, Riot Games, said they've been holding this sort of event after recognizing the growing fan base in Korea.
It's no doubt that Korea is the mecca for esports. There's just so much demand for it. We've seen tickets for this orchestra performance sell like hotcakes since last year. You can sense the excitement as fans dress up as their favorite characters and run out during the intermission to buy merchandise.
Yes, sir! To even have more fun at this event, many fans have dressed up as their favorite game characters. 혹시 오늘 어떤 캐릭터로 오셨을까요?
정령용 애쉬 코스프레 했어요. 저는 모르가나 코스프레 했습니다. 리그 오브 레전드의 케이틀린이라는 캐릭터 있어요.
전 리그 오브 레전드의 전투토끼 미포 할 것 같습니다.
그럼 저희 돌아가면서 각자 시그니처 포즈랑 대사할까요?
사람별로 세상을 평정해주지.
날개가 꺾였다고 내 의지까지 꺾인 건 아니야.
오늘 빵 한마디로 하겠습니다.
Esports are getting more views than many conventional sports. Game research company Newzoo found that by 2018, the number of people who watched esports topped over 167 million people. That's much more than the number who watched Major League Baseball. Since then, esports viewership has jumped by an average 14% each year. That's why esports has been selected as an official medal sport at the 19th Asian Games for the first time ever.
Our country is already well known for its advanced methods of training professional gamers. We will hone this training system by allocating more of our budget and expanding the required infrastructure before the games. We're also hoping to launch more policies that can protect gamers and secure a fair gaming environment. Ultimately, we hope to produce more world-class gamers like Faker.
To live up to the reputation of being the home of esports, Team South Korea is doing its best to prepare for the Asian Games. Shin Ye-eun, Arirang News.